Hey Simmers, welcome to my channel. Welcome back if you haven't been here before. In this video, I'm going to show you how to set up a functional strip club using the Businesses and Hobbies Expansion Pack in addition to a few mods. But before I get into it, I'm going to ask that if you find this video useful, please go ahead and hit the like button. If you have a question or something to say, please let me know in the comments, and for more content, please subscribe. So for this functionality, the only expansion pack that you need is Businesses and Hobbies. So I am running this strip club out of a small business venue. I'm gonna go over all of the mods, and I know that a lot of y'all are used to me making videos about Wicked Whims and also basemental mods, but that is not the star of the show today. Now they are always installed on my computer, but you don't need them to do this. The mod that I'm using is by Sacrficial. Some of you may know what I'm talking about and already be familiar, but for the purpose of this video, because YouTube doesn't like certain words, we're gonna call it the H It Up mod. The H in H It Up is also known as a garden tool. It rhymes with no, mow, low. I mean, I think you get it by now, but we're not gonna say the word just because I don't want to get in trouble on YouTube. It has a variety of things that you can do with this mod, but one of them is this strip club. So I'm gonna get into that in just a second. I'm gonna also provide a link in a pinned comment that has a list of all of the mods that I'm using for this, in addition to the custom content that I'm using in this build. So this is not gonna be a playthrough today, so you guys are not gonna see every issue that I had, because I definitely had some. I'm just gonna kind of show you what worked in the end and the best setup that worked for me, how to get the strip club to run as smoothly as possible. So I know some of you see my game sometimes and you're like, or see my videos and you're like, my game doesn't look like that, my game doesn't work like that. Well, guess what? My game didn't work like this for me in the beginning either. It's just a lot of trial and error before I got to the point of knowing what works best. So hopefully you stay tuned for this entire video, because there's gonna definitely be some tips in here that you need if you don't wanna run into issues with this strip club and the mods that I'm using. And I'm gonna explain why I'm doing things the way that I'm doing them as I go along, and all of the mods that I'm using. Okay, so the first thing that you're gonna do is get your business set up by clicking on the business panel and registering a small business. So I do wanna talk about 3 mods specific to businesses and hobbies that I am using here. So I'm using 3 mods by Lunar Brittany that are specific to businesses and hobbies. I'm using more small business visitors because I want a lot of visitors at my lot. I'm also using higher business activity limit, which gives me the ability to have 8 activities to my business instead of just 5. And I'm also using more small business employees, which allows you to have 6 employees instead of 3. So I decided to name my business Sugar Nuboos. Nuboos means baby in Simlish for those who don't know. And of course, we know what that means, Sugar Nuboos. It is a strip club, a coffee shop, a billiard lounge, and an internet cafe. So I'm gonna skip ahead here to later on when I actually set up the business and change the activities a little bit, because I found some things not to work, and I'll explain why. But anyway, I also hired employees, I gave them makeovers, and I'm gonna skip ahead to where my business has actually been open for a minute, because like I said, I did make some changes from when I first opened the business. All right, y'all, so let's talk about the settings that I have found to work the best so far. We are Sugar Nuboos. I have updated the little icon here. It is a strip club, coffee shop, billiard lounge, and internet cafe. And I only have 5 activities at this time, which are to drink bar drinks, browse the web, dance, use the bubble blower, or hookahs in this case, and drink coffee. Okay, so with the latest version of the H It Up mod, you actually get some activities that are specific to small businesses, which you can offer H It Up services. So I am intentionally not adding those activities because I tried it in the beginning. So as you can see, we can offer all H-Up services, offer lap dancing, and offer, well, sell woohoo. And also there's a pole dancing activity here. I'm not adding any of these activities because I tried them, and what happened was the customers started trying to do the activities, and I didn't really like that. I mean, maybe if that's what you want for your business, maybe that works for you, but I don't want my customers doing pole dances. So in this business, those activities are reserved strictly for employees. And I really don't know if that's intentional or a bug, but maybe your sim wants to like teach pole dancing classes. I don't know. But right now, we're not offering these services because we can manage these through employee tasks. So we can still assign these tasks to employees without adding them to the activity list, which prevents customers from trying to do the activities. So yeah, we're going to go ahead and manage those that way. And also some of the activities, like you can have Sims come on your lot and do activities that are not on your list. Like I don't have to have the activity of drink coffee for the Sims to actually come on the lot and drink coffee. So the same thing kind of applies here. The Sims will still come and get lap dances, and they will also watch pole dancers without adding these activities. So I am leaving them off. So in addition, I also have an entrance fee, a price modifier of 50%, and I have target customers of young adult, and elders because no minors are allowed at this establishment. Okay, so I've already hired employees also from the business panel, which you should know how to do if you have businesses and hobbies, but you're gonna click on your business panel and click manage employees to do that. I did already give them makeovers as well. So I'm gonna go ahead and open the business, and I'm just gonna show you what tasks I have assigned to my employees that have all been working here for a week, and then I'm gonna show you all of the cheats and also the rest of the mods that I used for this. So let's go ahead and open up Sugar Nubu's, and we're gonna go to the manage employees just so I can show you guys what tasks are assigned and why I have chosen to assign the tasks the way that I do. Okay, so one of my dancers is outside trying to give lap dances in the rain. Why, I don't know. But anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and click on her so that I can bring up the manage employee task screen. So anyway, so I have my lap dancers and my pole dancers separate. The reason being, something that I noticed is that if you try to assign an employee both the task of pole dancing for money and lap dancing for money, the pole dancer will not stay on the pole. They'll keep trying to get off and give lap dances or do other tasks. So this is why my pole dancers only have the task of pole dancing, because otherwise they will not do their jobs correctly. But it's okay if you have the lap dancers doing other stuff. So I actually have my lap dancers lap dancing, being friendly, and being romantic. And this is what I have found to work best without causing issues, keeping the dancers doing what they're supposed to and assigned to their tasks. So the pole dancers stay on the pole, and you can change them anytime you feel like it. And as far as my owner goes, she is not gonna be dancing. I just have her being friendly, cleaning, and being romantic, because hopefully maybe, she flirt with the customers a little bit, she might get a few extra coins. Okay, so that is pretty much the business setup as far as activities and employees go. So now I just kind of want to talk about the rest of the mods that I'm using in addition to cheats and other settings, and then I'll just show you guys the business a little bit. I'm not going to show you the build today because I did do a separate video, like a virtual tour of this build. It's a huge lot, and I know some of y'all are sick of me in these big ass lots, but anyway, it was a big lot and I felt like I needed to fill the space, so I did. But anyway, moving on, I'm gonna go ahead and talk about the other mods and the cheats. Okay, so let's talk about some of the mods that I'm using here. I've gone into build by mode because some of the lot traits and challenge that I'm using is specific to some mods. So the first one that I have is the bouncer trait. This will spawn a bouncer on this lot, which I don't know if you've noticed, but this is why I have a bouncer on my lot. I think you might need Get Famous for them to actually spawn, but the bouncer lot trait does come with the Basemental Drugs mod. So I am using that for this lot. And then I also have the Romantic Aura and the Party Place traits. Those are not from mods, those are just built into the game. But I also have the Lot Challenge Employees Professionals. So that comes with Little Miss Sam's Auto Employee mod. Now I've talked about this mod quite a bit because I've used it quite a bit and on many different lots. I've even done a video on it if you want to know how to use it. But that mod allows you to spawn employees like baristas, bartenders, DJs, entertainers, bouncers even. So that is specific to what packs you have, because I know some of those employees are specific to certain packs. Like you can even spawn nannies if you put a potty on your lot. So I really love that mod and I use it all the time. Once you've installed the Auto Employee mod and added either as a lot challenge or a lot trait, you click on a door, click Auto Employee, and you can allow the employees that you want to allow. So in this case, I am allowing a barista, a bartender, and a DJ. And they spawn based on the number of those objects that you have on the lot. So like I have 4 bars, so it should spawn 4 bartenders. And I think that's the max for the mod. So it should spawn them, but it doesn't always. But you know, at least if I have 2 or 3, I think I'm good. Okay, so I want to talk about MC Command Center for a second. You can access MC Command Center settings by clicking on a computer in your lot. But MC Command Center is a very popular, well-known mod. Hopefully you have it installed, otherwise you won't be able to do this. But I am using MC Command Center under MC Population so that I can increase the max Sims in zone, which basically is the maximum amount of Sims allowed in a zone or on a lot, because I am using other mods. Like since I'm using the auto spawn employee mod and I am using the more small business employees and more small business customers, I'm gonna have a lot of Sims on this lot. And the default for the maximum Sims in zone is 20. If I leave it at this, then some of my employees are going to spawn and leave, or some of my customers may leave because there are too many. So under other settings, under MC Population and other settings, there's a setting here that says maximum Sims in zone. I'm going to change it. Well, I actually already did change it, but I'm just showing you where it is. I changed it from 20 and put it up to 60. So if your computer can handle this, I suggest changing this setting, because otherwise you're gonna have Sims leaving or maybe even just getting stuck just because there's too many Sims on your lot. That is if you're using all the mods that I am to increase like customers and employees and things like that. If your PC lags when you do this, I suggest just having a smaller lot and less employees and not having more customers. But mine can handle it, and I like a crowded lot, like a lot of business, so I have increased it to 60. Also keep in mind that every time you do a game update, you have to come back in and change the setting, because doing a game update will put this back to 20. So anytime you update your game, come back in here and change this. And just to recap, I got here by clicking on a computer, clicking MC Command Center, MC Population, other settings, and then maximum Sims in zone. Then you're gonna just type in your number and click OK, and that's gonna allow more Sims on your lot. Okay, so the last setting that I am changing or cheating before opening my business is I am going to max out the business ranking. The reason that I'm maxing out the business ranking is because this is a really big lot. It has a lot going on, and I do want a lot of customers to show up. And the higher your business ranking, the more customers show up. Even though I'm using the more customer mod, I still need it to be at the highest ranking. So I am bringing up the cheat dialog box by typing Shift-Control-C, and I am typing in a cheat to max it out to 8,500, which is the highest business ranking, and it's going to make this business a local legend. And I'm gonna go ahead and put that cheat up on the screen in case you want to do it. I'm also going to put it in the link that I provide with all of the information if you just want to copy and paste from there. But yeah, so we are cheating from 0 to 8,500, and that is making my Sims business from a striving startup all the way to a local legend immediately. But if you want to go ahead and work, if you want to start from beginning to end and work your way up, go right ahead. But I just don't want to do that because I do want my Sims to be able to show up at this lot as well. So I didn't just open this lot to play with it as the Sims that own it. I also want my Sims to be able to show up and get lap dances. And I also went through and just locked all the doors to where I don't want Sims to go, which is in their house basically. For some reason, I don't know if there's something that I do wrong, but sometimes I notice with these businesses, the Sims will end up in your Sims living quarters, and I'm just not, I don't want that to happen. So I'm locking the Sims townhouse. I'm also locking the butler's quarter because we do have a butler. So I don't want anybody going into butler's little apartment either. So I went through and locked all of the doors. So other than that, that's everything that I have done before the business opened. But there is one very, very, very important setting that I have to change when the business is open. So I'm going to go ahead and show you that now. But please pay attention because this is one of those things that I had issues with. So when I first opened my business, I kept having this problem with my owner and the household members and all of the other dancers and employees in the club stopping what they were doing to watch a dancer, and they were not doing their jobs. So I went to the Sacrficial Discord and I asked about it and I was ignored. But anyway, that's another issue I won't get into. But I was ignored, but I so happened to go back to his website, and eventually I found his setting that he was recommending to stop this. So there is a way to stop it. So basically you can click on any sim and go to the Sacrficial menu. There's a Sacrficial pie menu and it says H it up under the menu, and then you're going to click options, and under options you can then disable reactions, tipping, or requesting services for this sim. So this is something that you want to do for all household members, all employees, including the dancers themselves and your owner, because otherwise they will not do their jobs and they will just keep watching the dancers. So this was a game changer for me. Hopefully you're watching to this point because it was very important, and it's how I got my strip club to finally run the way it was supposed to. So if you come into my comments and ask about this, I'm gonna know that you didn't get to this part of the video, and it's kind of rude. Like, watch the video then ask questions because they might be answered, because I did take the time out to do this. So hopefully you're watching because this was a very, very important piece. And you can do this by disabling it for individual Sims using the Sim Picker. You can also re-enable it. Like if the employee later shows up as a customer, you can just go in and re-enable the service. Once you get your business up and running, you just want to run your business as usual under small business. You want to greet your customers or enthuse over your business. Also make sure that you're talking to your employees, praising them or criticizing them, whatever you need to do. And I suggest that maybe sell something, like sell pizza, waffles, some type of product or food, because it will increase your profits if you do. And of course, continue to increase their salary and let them know that they are valued. So the last thing I kind of want to talk about as far as the mod goes is the stripper pole. So if you click on the Sacrficial mod pole, then you can change certain settings and you can assign your dancers to specific poles. Sometimes they get off the pole, so you need to click on it to get them to go back up to the pole, and they will go back to the pole. But you can also do things like change your lighting or resize the pole, and things like that. You can make your sim dance too if you want to, your household sim, I mean. So yeah, see, she's getting back on the pole. I guess they just need a break sometimes. But the last thing I'm gonna talk about is the profit. So This is not like, if you've ever played with the Wicked Whim strip club, especially with the settings I recommend in my Wicked Whim strip club videos, you will make a lot of money. Now, this is 17 hours of opening, and we did include a few retail sales. We got some tips, lots of services, and after 17 hours, my sim made $9,758. Not horrible, but I don't know. Like I said, the Wicked Whim strip club is definitely a little bit more lucrative. And my sim, she is ambitious. She makes a lot of money from investing. So she pretty much makes like $400,000 a week from investing. So she doesn't really have to depend on this. So her funds get maxed out all the time anyway. But I am having fun playing with it. Also, I've had some of my sims show up as customers. It works that way as well. Sometimes you still have to click on the poll and assign the dancers back to the poll even when you show up as a customer, but it's still fun. I love it. I appreciate Sacrficial for making this mod, even though he doesn't like to respond to me on Discord, but that's okay. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. I hope that you have enjoyed this video. Until next time.